Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the weekend watch list where I'm just going to be quickly going over the indexes and a few companies. So Apple, NVDA, Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, and Netflix, which are the companies that I'm going to be looking at as they are on watch for me personally. Okay, just to dive in really quickly on the SPX, right? So the S&P 500. What we've seen here, since this is what I call the pandemic high, right? As I've stated previously in other videos, we've just been trending in this range here. All right, we kind of broke out of this range here, out of this 3130 level. Okay, and now we are up consolidating in this tight range here. So now, what does this mean when we start consolidating in this tight range? Typically, when you consolidate at resistance, one of two things is really going to happen. We're either going to break through, okay, and we're going to start trending in this next level and then break through there, or we're going to trend here until we fail and we break down, right? So in this case, what we've seen is we finally closed above this 3182 level, right? So in my eyes, what I look at now is that now that we've gotten above this level here, I'm going to be looking to see if we can stay above this 3182 level for this week. Typically, what happens here is I have this level here, which is the 3200 level. It is also a monthly pivot zone indicated by this blue line, right? So what does that mean? When price is above the blue line, all right, it acts as support, which you can see here, right? So it supported it, it pushed up again, got down to this level, pushed up again, and once again, every time it comes down here to this blue line, it acts as support and pushes higher, right? And whenever price is below the blue line, it acts as resistance until it becomes support, right? So that's what I'm going to be looking for with this week. I'm going to be looking to see if we can push above this 3200 level here, okay? And particularly to see if we can hold this 3182 level here. If we do get above this blue line here, we're going to be looking for a retest of the pandemic high. And if we are able to do that and we get through there, we'll be looking for this level here, which is this 3261 level. Okay, and yeah, through there we have a gap to fill up until this 3327 level. And so we'll be looking there, but I'm not that optimistic for just this week. I'm primarily focused on if we can hold this 3182 level. Okay, if we cannot hold this 3182 level, we're going to see a push down probably, and probably through this purple level here, and probably into this 3130, 3129 level here. And we want to see this act as support as it has whenever price does get above it, right? If that fails, we're going to be looking down to this 3100 level and maybe even this 3079 level, 3080 level, okay? And we're going to be looking to see if this can hold as support as it has previously, okay? As for the Nasdaq, as you can see, we've just been creating higher highs, okay, without making any significant pullbacks yet, right? So for the past 2 weeks, we've just been tanking up without any real pullbacks. We've had one red day. And so that's really indicating to me that each day we make a new all-time high, right, is just another reason for it to pull back even harder, right, when it does have that pullback. So we'll see when that happens. It could keep on going, but I expect it to pull into this purple level here or somewhere in this level here. And that this is going to be the support that we're going to be looking to hold, okay? As for the Dow Jones, which is comprised of the top tech companies, we have made this pandemic high here, and since then we gapped down to this level here, this 26,320 level, okay, and we've held this 24,800 level, right? So, and since then we were just channeling. Okay, so now once again, what we're seeing is a consolidation at the top of the range. Again, that's a good sign for either a break above or a rejection. So either way, we should get some form of move this week. I do not anticipate more consolidation. I think this week or at most next week, we will get a move either to the downside or to the upside. And if we do get a move to the upside, we're going to be looking to see if this 26,300 level can hold. And if it can, we're going to be targeting this 26,800 level, as that is the gap fill. And then if it can get above there as well, we're going to be targeting this 27,000 level, right? Below here, if it doesn't hold, we're going to be targeting this 25,000 level as support, and 25,700 level as support. If that can't hold, down here, the 25,200 level, 300 level around there, and if that also fails, this 24,800 level. Okay. So on to the companies that are on watch for this week. Okay. Based on last week's price action, we have now created yet another all-time high for Apple, which I indicate by this red line. Okay. And just zooming in a little further, what we can see here is that we would like to see some form of support be formed in this area, because once again, we're just making new all-time highs every day pretty much, except for on Friday. But Friday was a green day at the end of the day, so, and it created a weak wick at the bottom here. The same thing with Thursday. And what that indicates is that buyers are still there holding the price up. Okay, so what I would be doing here is probably making this intraday level here at this 378 level. So if price does finally pull back, we're going to be looking for this 378.50 level to break. Okay, and then we'll be targeting probably somewhere in this 370, 372 level. Okay, to hold as resistance or hold as support. If price fails this level, we'll be looking down here at this 365 level to hold as support, which is also our monthly pivot zone at 366. Okay, if for some reason we do manage to keep pushing higher and higher and higher without pulling back at all, we're going to be looking for this 385 all-time high level to break, and we'll probably be targeting somewhere in here in this 390 level. Okay. As for NVDA, once again, another one of those stocks just pushing higher and higher, creating new all-time highs every day. So as you can see, all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. Unlike Apple, this one has not taken a break and has just ripped higher each day, right? So once again, no pullbacks, but we finally made another red day, right? So we've been seeing a few red days, but at the same time, they're still creating this new high, right? So again, what we'd want to see now is probably this 414 level hold, okay? And if we are going to go higher, okay, we're going to want to see this 426 level break, and we're going to want to see if it can get up to this 430 level. On the downside, once this 414 level breaks, we're going to be targeting this 408 level. Okay, under 408, we can see somewhere down here at this 400 level, which I will mark right now. Okay, somewhere down there at that 400 level, as it is a key psychological level, since it has since it is that 400 number. That is an area where buyers will step in, and it is a level that people should just put on watch, right? It hasn't confirmed that it is support yet, but since, like I was saying, it is that key psychological level, we will see what happens at that level there. But until then, I would like to see 408 hold. Okay, so if we do have a pull in, And then maybe we just trend like this and channel before we decide to make them push higher, because what you don't want to see is you don't want to see this, right? We don't want to see, sorry, let me make that a little clear. We don't want to see this, right? Because what's going to happen if we get too far, we're going to see this. We're going to see a bad pullback, right? Because that's what happens when too many buyers are on one side of the trade or too many sellers are on one side of the trade, which we could see. If I give you an example, you could look at, let me just quickly zoom out. We can look right back here, right? We had way too many buyers at this point, right? And what happened ultimately? A big pullback, right? And another big pullback, right? This was obviously due to the pandemic, but that is what happens regardless of if there's a pandemic or not. When you push high without any real resistance, you're going to have that resistance at some point because too many people are loading up on one side. And what's going to happen, if you keep to explain a little better, if everyone is buying and nobody is selling, right, we're going to run out of people who to buy from, that are selling to you. And what happens at that point? Everybody must liquidate, right? And that's what this is. That's what causes this. Okay. But yes, that is NVIDIA for now. Microsoft, again, another one pushing just higher and higher and higher. Fortunately, we have seen a red day and we've pulled back a little bit, even though it was a green day on this hammer candle here. But again, as you can see, buyers are pushing this back up from this 210 level approximately. Okay, so buyers are getting interested at this level here, and they're keeping it up there. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a level here, this 211 level. Okay, and this has held support for me, so I'm gonna make it a level for me. Right, and again, all-time high. Okay, so I'd be interested for Microsoft to see what happens above this 216 level, if we can retest this 216 level for this week. And if we don't get to retest this level, or if we don't push higher, right, I would like to see this act as resistance if it can get up here at least. And if not, I'd like to see what happens at this 211 level or 210, both these levels here. Through here, I would like to see this approximately, I believe that's 207 level, 208 level, sorry. Okay. Through there, I would like to see what happens at this 205, 204 level down here. Okay, so approximately there. Okay, and so first target, if we get below this 211, 210 level, is 208, and then 205 or 204. Okay. Now on to Tesla, the stock that is just completely disregarding the fact that we shouldn't be just making new highs consistently like this without pulling back at all. No, but Tesla is making new highs pretty much every single day, and it's above every analyst expectation at the moment, right? So we were actually getting price target raises in this area here, and we've actually pushed higher. The highest one that I saw, at least, was this 1500 level, and we closed up at this 1550 level, right? So I'm not sure what we should be looking for exactly with Tesla, because it could just keep going higher to 16, to 17, to 18, right? But there's one thing that I do know about Tesla, is that you don't short it, right? So I'm just creating a level here for Tesla at that 1400 level, as it was holding as some form of resistance for a little bit, but it is now turning into support as price has closed above it. Okay. But yes, so this past week we pushed up, we began to consolidate at this level, okay? And then once again, like I was saying previously in the video, when we consolidate at the top of our range, right, we expect either a push higher or a breakdown In this case, we got our push higher, and so we want to see what happens now. We want to see this 1400 level hold as support, okay? And if this 1400 levels holds as support, we want to see what happens if we can get above and hold this 1500 level. And if we get through and stay above this 1500 level, again, we're going to be targeting up into this 1600 level. Okay, if we somehow break below this 1500 level and then down below this 1400 level, we're going to be targeting somewhere in here, okay, which is this 1350 level, okay, and below there we'll be targeting 1300s, okay. But again, I'm just giving a scenario at this point. I don't believe Tesla is going to just have a big, huge move to the downside just yet. It may not. I'm just giving scenarios of what could happen, right? We could continue pushing higher, or we could have a massive pull down, right? Or we might just consolidate now, right? There's a lot of different things that could happen. I just want to share that what is a possibility, right? We do have some gaps in the chart in the chart at these levels down here, okay, which I signified by these purple boxes, which whenever you do see gaps like this below price, right, it means that there's poor structure for this chart, right? But what I mean by poor structure is, I mean, basically, when stocks gap up, they leave these holes in the chart, right? And these holes mean that, in one way to think of it is like, if you were to build a foundation for a pyramid, for example, right, you wouldn't want holes, or for a tower, I'll say, you wouldn't want holes to be in the somewhere in the foundation of the pyramid, of the tower, right? You would want the pyramid to be filled, or the tower to be filled, right, through the structure all the way up, and that would just give you a stronger inclination that the tower will stand for longer. But when there's holes like this in the chart, it does give the sense that, oh, we could have a pullback into these areas down here, right? Because that's what price wants to do. It wants to fill those gaps. Okay, just to quickly explain that. Again, I don't know where everybody's at, so if you need any further explanations on stuff like that, just please let me know, and I'll try to explain that better. But yes, so we do also have our weekly pivot zone up here, so we'll see what happens. It could hold as support, or it could break below this 1500 level, but that is Tesla. As for Amazon, very similar to Tesla, we are once again, after holding this level here and we channeled, right? We consolidated at the top of the range, like I've been saying throughout this video, and we got that break above. And then what happens? We'll pull back and we'll see if this channel, sorry, just to make that a little better, we'll see if this level can now hold as support. And in this case, we did. We were also supported by this monthly pivot zone, right, which is also at that 2500 level. So again, this is a very good trade you can take to the long side. And again, I've said it in previous videos where once we get above this, once we break out here, we want to see it pull back into our level, right, into our breakout zone, which in this case was this 2500 level. And then through there, we'd want to see if price can push even higher, which it did, which indicates that it's a meaningful move and there's a lot of buyers behind it in this case, supporting this move. So again, it happened once again. We made sort of this level here at this 26, 27 level, and so we got through it, pushed higher, right, and then pulled back into it again. And what you want to see once again is it bounce here, as it means a meaningful move has occurred once again, once it pushes through the next high that was created here at this 2800 level, right? Anyway, so for the past 2 weeks we have just pushed straight up, so we're kind of getting a little parabolic at this point. We want to see maybe some consolidation, but if not, we're probably going to see a pullback at some point. Our first target will be this 3100 level, okay, somewhere down there. And then our second target, somewhere in this range here, And then our second target would be this 3,000 level. Okay. So this is our second target here if we do pull back, right? If we don't pull back, we'd want to see, typically what I want to see now that we've pushed up with such momentum, with such strength, without a pullback, I'd want to see consolidation for a little while, and then maybe a break of this 3,200 level, just because that just confirms that the move is a little stronger, right? We don't want there to be weak structure like I was just trying to explain in the Tesla example, but yeah, that's what I'd be looking for. Amazon, and then finally Netflix, more of the same. We are pushing higher, and we've created this new all-time high up at that 555 level. Okay, and I just haven't been updating all my levels, but yes, I'll show you really quickly what we're going to be looking at. So we had this nice grind higher here, right? And then we finally got this big push higher, right, where we opened up down at this 520 level, had a small little pull into about 510, and then we pushed all the way up to 555 before pulling back just slightly down to 550s, right? So we've created, so if you look down here, down at the volume, right, we can see that over the past little while, actually, since April, really, we haven't had any volume that even comes close to that. So, and if we look over here, these were on red days and we kind of pulled back a little bit, right? So we'd like to see what happens now that we have this higher volume. Are we gonna continue to trend up like this, or are we gonna have this pull back as well, right? So if we do get above this 555 level, we'd be targeting this 560 level at first, and then probably 570, right? If we don't stay above this 555 level, we'd want to see this hold as resistance, right? We also have this weekly pivot level here, right? So that's at 550. We'd want to see that hold. If that can't hold, we're going to be looking down all the way down, somewhere down at this 510 level to be our new support. Okay. It is unconfirmed support at the moment, but that is the level that I'm going to be looking for to hold as support if Netflix does come down there. Okay, let me just drill in on the 2-hour chart. Yeah, so there's not much that we can really see. Maybe this 525 level, sorry, you might want to see that hold as support, but we haven't created too many levels in this huge day that Netflix had. But yeah, that is going to be it for the weekend watch list. I hope everybody's doing well. If, again, my videos are providing any sort of value to you, please like and subscribe, or even share to anyone who might find this helpful. Like I've said in previous videos, right now I do have my free group that I am allowing anybody to join. Just all you have to do is just shoot me an email and I'll get you in my Discord chat. In fact, I'll be showing you guys the call outs that I make in my Discord, the news that I offer as far as what earnings are coming up for what plays and things of that nature. But yeah, if you do want to get in touch, if you find that I've provided any value, please just get in touch with me. I made this channel to help people because I wish I had that help when I was starting out in trading, and it would have just made up a lot of time for my learning curve. But yeah, that's the point of this channel. Again, I hope you guys are all doing well, and yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for watching.